Hey guys, it's Marla at Twinstrology, and this is a special report on the Mercury retrograde that's happening on August 30th in the sign of Virgo. Now, not only is this going to be an extra powerful Mercury retrograde because he's in his own sign of Virgo. Remember, Mercury rules both Virgo and Gemini, but also it's right in the middle of eclipse season. And Mercury goes retrograde a few days before the Virgo new moon solar eclipse, and then he goes direct a few days after the Pisces full moon lunar eclipse. So he's really adding energy, I feel, to the eclipse season. And I felt it was especially important to talk about this because what I'm getting from Spirit around what this Mercury retrograde is going to be about is a lot of becoming heart-centered. Being of service. It's going to be doing a lot of purification. There's going to be some maybe messages coming in from Spirit as well, some mysticism, maybe some aspects of getting to some inner truth. But because Virgo rules being of service, I feel that is really going to be one of the key things that Mercury is going to be helping us with. And what I got from Spirit that I talked about in my other weekly video was that if we're not open-hearted, we really can't be of service to other people. If we're feeling down, if we're feeling like nothing's going right for us, if we're feeling like the world is against us, how are you going to help anyone else? So we have to clear away any of those thoughts, purge out any of those things. And this Mercury retrograde is kind of picking up where the Mars and Saturn left off. And Saturn and Mars are still in Sagittarius. They're still working on beliefs, but they were doing some really deep purging of past lives and stuff. And I feel that's going to be coming up again with this Mercury retrograde. But hopefully we're going to purge all that out in conjunction with the eclipses. We're going to be able to be more open-hearted and be more authentic by the time this retrograde is through. So one of the things that might be coming up for you right now is purging and clearing in all different aspects of your life. Virgo, of course, rules health and healing. It also rules organization. So you may feel like getting physically in shape, cleaning up your diet and purging any bad things out of your diet, doing energy clearing around your house and around your physical self. I would recommend doing whatever it is that you like to do to help you clear and shield your energy, as well as clear and shield the energy in your home. Use sage, things like that. Take salt baths. Getting rid of stuff around your house. If you have a lot of clutter, clear that out because that's going to help your mind as well. And, maybe tidy up some loose ends. If you feel like big changes are coming, if you're waiting for something major to happen in your life, if you feel that energy coming, then take care of those details. Do what you have to do, clean up things, tie up loose ends. So Mercury's going retrograde on the 30th, which I mentioned, he was in his shadow since August 10th. And that was before the Aquarius full moon. So I feel like the energy was still happening even at that earlier eclipse. He's going retrograde at 29 degrees and 5 minutes of Virgo. And the Sabian symbol for that degree is having an urgent task to complete. A man doesn't look to any distractions. So this is a really interesting Sabian because it's telling us that we have a task and we can't fail at this task. So we have to focus on that with no distractions. Now, that might mean for you that you need a lot of quiet time, that you need to spend time by yourself, cutting out any extraneous distractions for you. This can also be your twin, and your twin may need to cut out any distractions, and one of those distractions could be you. So if they're not really feeling like communicating with you right now, I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't take it personally because, look, this retrograde is helping them to heal and get clarity. So don't get angry. Support them any way that you can. Let's talk about the planets conjunct, actually. So when he goes retrograde, he's going to be conjunct Venus, who's just entered into Libra, and conjunct Jupiter, who's also at late degrees, Virgo, 28 degrees. So we could be feeling very creative at this time. There's probably going to be some optimism. We could be interested in discovering the truth or getting some kind of justice. We could be thinking about these issues. We might be thinking about, I talked about cleaning up your diet and stuff. You may be thinking about in some way enhancing your look or getting new clothes or losing weight or thinking about getting your hair cut or something like this. Don't do anything drastic during a Mercury retrograde, though. It's also going to be conjunct the asteroid Excalibur, which is at 1 degrees Libra. And I feel that really strongly points to the Sabian having an urgent task to complete. So it's something related to twin flame mission or the mission of bringing divine partnerships to Earth. It's going to be square asteroid Alma at 29 degrees Capricorn. So this is saying that there's something, if we look at Mercury as our thoughts or the way we communicate, there's something out of alignment between Mercury and our soul. So are you not able to communicate what your soul is longing to communicate? I'm feeling this has to do with being your authentic self. And is there something still holding you back from being your authentic self? Mercury retrograde is going to help you get to the bottom of that. Mercury is going to be opposing Chiron. And this is very important, this Mercury-Chiron opposition. He's going to be opposing Chiron 3 times in his retrograde. I feel like it's going to bring up a lot of past life information, either consciously or subconsciously, depending on how awake you are. But Chiron, one of the things it represents is our soul wound and what is still blocking us in some way from past lives. I feel like it can help you connect with your higher self, especially with Jupiter being involved. Working on clearing karma still around these past life memories. And I feel like it's going to be bringing in some occult information or maybe helping the people that are just waking up. they could be getting signs or messages from spirit. Again, the past life connection could be coming through. Or they're just going to have an interest, I think, in metaphysical topics right now. And I feel this aspect is going to help them understand more metaphysical topics. Of course, Chiron is helping us heal all these things, heal our wounds. And in the process, this is going to allow us to open our heart so that we can fully and truly be of service to the world. He's also going to be making a quintile to Saturn. And when he goes direct, he's going to be in square to Saturn. So Mercury Saturn, I feel, is going to help you define your thoughts. And we've been working on the, Saturn Neptune dream. Okay, Mercury's going to be triggering this because when he goes back to station, to where he stations to go direct, he's going to be triggering the Saturn Neptune square. And I feel like this transit, the aspects to Saturn, are going to help you define exactly what it is you're trying to manifest. Because if your thoughts are all over the place, it's interfering with your manifestation. And if you're going back and forth, like, I want this, no, I want that, I want this, I want that, that's not helpful. You have to have clear intentions in order to manifest. This aspect also might bring about some barriers in communication during the retrograde. So you may find that you have trouble communicating your thoughts. People may not understand you, or I'm feeling like people aren't going to totally hear you during this time. So like always, double check all your communications. Don't make assumptions either. And Saturn and Mercury are going to help you be your own authority instead of relying on other people to tell you, what's going on, or, and I hate to say what you're thinking, but sometimes you do need people, or people try to tell you what you're thinking. But through this retrograde, you're going to become more authentic, stand more in your power, and you're going to reject anyone that tries to take your authority away from you. He's also going to be making an in conjunction to Uranus too, which could be bringing in a lot of ideas, a lot of reforming of the mind, like reforming beliefs and opinions. Because I think we're be able to break away from some of the more traditional beliefs that have been holding a lot of people back. And I feel like this is most important for the people that are waking up now. And expect downloads during the Mercury retrograde. I want to talk about the Sabians with Chiron too, because I mentioned that Chiron was helping you heal, bringing more into an occult understanding. He's actually switching degrees during the retrograde. So when he first is an aspect to Mars at the beginning of the retrograde, he's on the Sabian. A tiny island seems lost in the broad ocean, but its happy inhabitants have created a world all their own. I feel like this is pointing to Atlantean energy coming in, okay, because it's talking about a small island, and the inhabitants creating a world of their own. But I also feel this energy can help us manifest because it talks about creating and creating happiness because you're creating your reality. I think that's going to really click for a lot of people. The second one that he's on when Mercury goes direct is a materializing medium giving a seance. So this one speaks about actual materialization. So bringing something from spirit and materializing it in the third dimension. So you can imagine that's going to be very useful in helping you manifest your Saturn Neptune dream. And it's also talking about a medium giving a seance, so messages coming through from the other side. Now, when Mercury goes direct, which is going to be on September 22nd at 1:30 a.m. Eastern Time, he's going to be at 1449 degrees of Virgo. And the Sabian for that degree is a fine lace ornamental handkerchief. This one is speaking to me more about love and romance and chivalry. There's a sense of sentimentality, and we know that when Mercury's retrograde, we often look back at the past with an eye towards sentimentality. People from the past tend to come back into our life, either to start again or to kind of heal up and get closure on something. A handkerchief can also be a token of love. You know, in the medieval days, a lady would often give her handkerchief to a knight to show her support for him. It's thinking about the past, okay, which I already mentioned, and having appreciation, I feel, for the smaller things in life, for finding that gratitude, which is so important toward your open-heartedness, your authenticity, and for your ability to help others. When Mercury goes direct on the 22nd, he's going to be conjunct the North Node. So this is like another push of the energy for getting on your soul's path. Remember, the North Node is where we're going in life, what our soul's direction is. And that the new moon that's happening on September 1st is at 10 degrees of Virgo. So that's also conjunct the North Node. This is a lot of energy coming in to support you moving in the direction of your soul right now. It's going to be squaring Saturn, like I mentioned, and also squaring the asteroid Union. This is for twin flames, representing twin flame union. And I feel like it's going to be kind of connecting twins to the past life nature of the connection. Asteroid unions on the Sabian, a vast panorama of sand and time is unfolding. The pyramids and the Sphinx in their glory rise before the eye. So this is talking about ancient history, the presence of divine timing, how things can't be rushed. It's, I'm feeling it has ancient knowledge being brought up to the surface. And with Saturn squaring Mercury too, don't forget Saturn's karma. Just overall, when Mercury goes direct, my opinion is, from looking at the chart, is there's going to be a large influx of positive twin flame energy coming into the planet. So it's all going to be good. Mercury is also going to be squaring the moon, and that's going to be creating a T-square. The moon's going to be in Gemini. So creating a T-square with Mercury, the moon, and Saturn in union. And the moon representing the subconscious here and the emotions. I feel like this can be a trigger to bring up the past or bring up some emotional wounding, even. Bring things up from the subconscious, bringing things up from shadow. Which brings me to the other aspect, which is Mercury's going to be trining Pluto very tightly. This is also going to be shadow work. I feel it's going to be very healing for dark thoughts. Secret info could be coming up. Pluto is secrets. And Mercury is the only person, God, that can actually travel into the underworld and come out again. Remember, Mercury is the messenger of the gods. So that's another reason why I'm saying you could be getting messages from Spirit, messages from God at this time. But Mercury can go into the underworld and he can talk to Pluto and then come back out. So that gives Mercury an advantage. And Pluto represents secret information. And the underworld being the subconscious, and on both Mercury and Pluto aspecting the moon on that day, I feel that there's going to be some kind of revelation. There's also going to be a yod forming between the moon and Juno in Scorpio and Pluto in Capricorn. This could be some revelation about partnerships. Could be something that was trying to be kept hidden from you comes to light, or could be some inner revelation, or could be something that's been in your subconscious for a while, but you didn't see, and now suddenly you get clarity on it. So yeah, lots of positive energy for healing, for helping twins come together, for getting in touch with your heart. I also want to mention at this retrograde that I'm feeling we're going to be particularly empathic or compassionate, in that I feel we'll be able to see other people's points of view and have an understanding of that point of view, which of course would be very helpful for twins, especially twins that are in separation from each other or aren't having a lot of communication, to be able to see where the other person is coming from. And keep that in mind as well for karmic relationships and any kind of closing energy that the eclipses are going to be bringing in to karmic relationships around you. It doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship, but if there's any type of relationship in your life that's holding back your healing or holding back your authenticity, there's a possibility that there'll be upcoming changes in that relationship. So again, don't stress. It's just Mercury retrograde. Don't focus on it. Go on with your life and enjoy it. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon.